I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, June the 4th, brought to you in part by Performance Livestock Analytics. Performance Beef is software designed by cattle producers for cattle producers. It simplifies feeding, performance, and health data recording. Create invoices, break-evens, and closeouts in just seconds. For more information, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. The rumor mill, we're still seeing more rumors come in and causing a lot of volatility. Most folks didn't know that's why we had all the volatility on Tuesday, but it was terrible. Just some rumor that came out late last week about a major packing plant. Not sure if they said if it was going to close or they were going to have changes or going to be dark or whatever. But then turned out, no, it was false. And so the board kind of crept back up to close to steady as it could get, but it was still down for the day. And it's getting frustrating here. Now, these bears are doing everything but pull a knife to try to get this market to crash. But the supply and demand fundamentals just won't let it happen. CME doesn't seem to care that all these rumors are coming out and all this fluctuation is going. They're just like, well, we're providing a place to trade commodities here. That doesn't affect any of us. It kind of does, you know. They need to get something straight. Need to look into this stuff. You know, just like the false claim that there was screw worms found in Missouri. You know, that costs a lot of people a lot of money. And it's not a game, you know, and now they've got these new expanded limits so huge, it'll take somebody's head off. And people are going to get hurt in this deal when and if we do catch a hold on one of these rumors that comes out. But, you know, the June live cattle futures closed on Tuesday at 215.97. We're creeping our way pretty well into June here. 215.97. Your most recent weighted average for live steers in the 5-area weighted average was 229.94. 230 compared to 216 on the board, and we're in the contract month. And CME doesn't want to do anything about it. You can do one thing about it, and it will fix it immediately. Allow the longs to demand delivery. You think the Packers wouldn't get in on some August or some June live cattle there if they could buy some fat cattle for 216 and make them deliver them? It would bring that thing together, and that's what it should do. It does it on the downside because the shorts can threaten delivery, but that is so frustrating that they won't fix that. They like the volatility. It causes more trades. They get more commissions that way. But it's frustrating for anybody that's in the business to be trying to operate in a confusing structure like that. But it's not healthy, and I think somebody should do something about it. Talk about your punchy pick of the month contest. We just had one, but we're already getting ready for another one. Don't forget the punchy pick. The month contest. Of course, the Kids Corral is sponsored by Great Plains Livestock Consulting, and the Punchy Pick by Beaver County Stockyards and Fairpiece. Mostly you get the whole case of Fairpiece when you do that, and I'm going to attach a new video from Fairpiece about that product at the end of this feeder flash episode. Let's talk about that board on Tuesday. June live cattle futures down 57 cents at 215.97 on a 230 market. August down 125 at 209.75. Your back month's down 95 to down 135. August feeder cattle down 52 cents at 301.22, while people were giving all-time record prices. We've got a new record for real-time index, new all-time record for 7 weights, you know, just in breaking records. And your feeder cattle August board is down 52 cents at 301.22. September feeder cattle down 47 cents at $300.42. Your back months were down 25 to down 42. Look at your grains. July corn was up 1/4 cent a bushel at 438.5. July beans up 7 1/4 at 1040 3/4. July hard red winter wheat down 3 cents a bushel at 536 3/4. Fat cattle trade, we didn't have any negotiated sales on Tuesday in your 5-area feeding region. They're going to ask more money. They don't care what the board does. They don't care what kind of rumors come out. They don't care what somebody's whispering out there or trying to spread a rumor of. The market's good. It's got a fire under it. It's going to stay good. They're going to ask more for cattle. We saw that at Stockman's livestock market in Yankton, South Dakota. We see what the real market is. At 1,100 head in overnight, they had 1,700 head for their fed cattle auction. Gary Marks goes to the auction and he collects this information and shares it with me so I can share it with you. Said the conventional cattle bring from 238 to 240, 250 on a 230 direct market. 238 to 240, 250. That was $13.5 to $17 higher. Gary said that was the hottest sale he'd ever been to in his life, and he's been going to them for probably 50 years. Program cattle selling from 236.5 to 248, drug-free or non-implanted. That was $6 to $13 higher. He told me that there was several lots there, and the ring, standing in the ring, they were costing $390 to $395 in the meat. Looking at it at an order buyer's perspective there, but hot sale at Yankton. Your box beef cutout values drifted a bit lower on Tuesday. Choice cuts down 56 cents at 365.44. Selects down 159 at 356.52. Your slaughter, 236,000 estimated cattle slaughter for the first 2 days of the week. You can't compare it to last week because of the holiday, but same week a year ago, 241, so it was down 5,000 compared to the same week last week. Talk about what else is going on. Charlet, you may want to think about introducing Charlet genetics to your herd. Pounds matter and profit counts. We're still selling cattle by the pound, guys. You can increase frame and feedlot performance with industry acceptance. That's a key, with industry acceptance. For more information, go to poundsmatter.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance, working to protect your livelihood. Your real-time index after your sales were all over on Tuesday, sitting at 304.81. That was up 369. Your CME cash feeder cattle index a little bit higher at 301.48. We got big feeder sales. If you're still looking for feeder cattle here at Stockman's Livestock in Yankton's, got a feeder cattle auction here, over 6,000 head on offer, and going to be having a really fancy offering, just uncharacteristically fancy for this time of year at South Central Regional Stockyards in Vienna, Missouri. You can watch, view, and bid both those sales on DVAuction.com. Check out your sales on Tuesday. Ozarks Regional Stockyard in West Plains, Missouri sells 2,800 through the ring and another 600 plus on their in-house video that they do with help from DV Auction. Feeder steers were $8 to $16 higher than the light test they had last week. Feeder heifers were not well tested. Steer calves steady to $5 higher. Heifer calves $6 to $12 higher. An impressive quote out of West Plains was they had 2 loads of 895-pound steers. One load brings 295, the other brings 295.75. That's pretty impressive for South Central Missouri, guys. I got to tell you about Beaver County Stockyards. I was at Beaver County on Tuesday. Got to auctioneer help with them for a couple hours there and visit with the guys. It was the most impressive offering of big cattle that I've ever seen, bar none. They had just loads and loads and consignments and string after string of 1,000 to 1,200 pound feeder cattle coming right in off the wheat. just coming right in off the wheat. It's unbelievable the quality of those cattle and the kind of weight that they gained. They were bringing from 256 to 270, 250. A lot of them weighing over 1,100 pounds and well over 1,100 pounds. Talking about Gerald Ratcliffe, he had just an impressive offering of 165 red motley face steers. They were unbelievable. And those steers gained 600 pounds on wheat. He turned them out in October weighing around 560, and they come in weighing 1165. It was unbelievable. But those steers bring 256, just gaining their absolute heads off. I was talking with Gerald there, and he just brings in hundreds of them every week. And I told him, you know, Gerald, just 2 or 3 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to sell those cattle. You couldn't have got a bid on them. You couldn't sell cattle weighing much over 1,000 pounds. And, you know, just feeders in there. He says, I know it. He said, but I've never had cattle gain that much weight. It was such an excellent wheat year. But that's just how the industry has changed that quick. All of a sudden, you can sell 1,150, nearly 1,200 pound feeder cattle right in the market, and guys take them and they just go right on with them and take them up to 1,800 pounds whenever they make them fat. But very impressive sale at Beaver County Stockyards. Kimball Livestock Exchange up in Kimball, South Dakota had 5,400 head. It was very impressive there too. They were your superior steel, superior standard livestock equipment stick out sale of the day. Look at this automated marker report through Cattle Market Central and look at your best tested weights. It was so impressive. 255 head at 727 pound on the average 7-weight steers. The average of the 7 weights bring 351.21. They had 596 head of 8-weight steers. They averaged 838 with a weighted average price of 316.16. 1,650 head of 9-weight steers averaged 946 at 289. Now look at the heifers. How about 628 head of 7-weight heifers averaged 730 at 314.17. 644 head of the 8-weight heifers averaged 853 at 316.16. Or excuse me, 644 heifers 8 weights averaged 853 at 283.82, and 264 head of 9 weights averaged just 902 at 276.35. Very impressive. I got stick out quotes from all over the country to give to you. How about Fallon Livestock out in Fallon, Nevada? They had 125 423 pound steers. They bring 462. Now, how about on the other side of the country? Bluegrass Stockyards, Farmers Stockyards in Flemingsburg, Kentucky. They sell 114 steers through the ring, weigh 808 and bring 317.50. Just about all the decent 8-weight cattle bringing in the threes, guys. How about Lolly Brothers Livestock Market? I told you about the big sale that they were going to have. They had a stick-out deal of some heifers that were locally backgrounded on grass, guys. There was 4 loads of them. They weighed 729 and bring 322.10. Wow. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday in your Macrocin No BS top quote for the day come out of Kimball Livestock Exchange in Kimball, South Dakota. It was an all-time record high price for 7 weights. It was 70 steers, weighed 712 pounds, bring 368. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.
Stress in your beef herd, dairy, or swine leads to weight loss, disease, and mortality, costing you peace of mind and profit. Stressful events such as transport, weaning, calving, and handling activate survival instincts in cattle, often leading to reduced dry matter intake, suppressed immunity, and increased risk of disease and mortality. FERA offers FERA-Peas, a proven solution with over 20 million doses sold. FERA-Peas, a synthetic analog of the maternal appeasing substance, naturally calms animals, helping to restore normal feeding behavior, promote hydration, and support immune function, ultimately improving health and performance. Trusted by producers and validated through multiple independent university trials, FERA-Peas has been shown to reduce disease incidence and mortality, ensuring greater animal welfare and improved profitability for cattle and swine operations. FERA-Peas address the stress, backed by science.